All right, today I'm going to be talking about the differences of going into a home care business, whether you're doing a franchise route or you're doing your own private home care business. My name is Scott McKenzie. Welcome back to my video. I am the founder of Golden Age Companions, a non-medical home care agency based in Irvine, California. We have been in business since 2011 and have generated over $8 million of revenue. And I also have founded a company called Home Care Agency Blueprint, and that company is based on my coaching model, and we help you start and scale your own home care business for yourself. So just quick video today. I want to talk about what it looks like to go into a franchise model when starting up your home care business. A lot of our students ask this question prior to coming on board with us, really kind of like what the difference is. So franchise versus doing your own private brand. With Golden Age Companions, I started that literally. I was working at Starbucks on the tail end of, I'd been there for about almost 7 years, and I was ready to start my own business. So I decided to do the private route, mostly because of the cost. I knew it was going to be a lot more work to do my own branding. However, I also knew it was going to be much more rewarding because there's no royalty fees and you're not restricted by operations and whatnot. So by the way, at the end of the video, I will have there's going to be a link at the end of the video here. When you complete watching this, there's going to be a link in the description that you can download to help you decide whether you want to do the franchise route or the private home care duty route. So a couple things on a franchise. You've got generally pretty high startup costs. So you're looking at, most franchises, and this is, first quarter of 2024 right now. So like from my current research, a franchise startup fee can be, initiation fee can be $38,000 all the way up to $60,000. Plus, there's just all these other fees. So generally they want to see that it's $120,000 to $150,000 just to get started with the franchise. And then in addition to that, you're paying anywhere from like as low as a 1.5% royalty of total revenue, but the average is 3 to 4% royalty fees. I know some franchises charge as high as 6%, so that's essentially, people like to, not everybody calls it a royalty fee, but it's essentially a percent that you've got to pay your franchise company for any of the revenue that you're doing for your home care business. So, the benefit of a franchise is you get like streamlined operations. It's kind of like a proven model. They do like nationwide advertising. There's a more brand presence, but then the con is you're restricted on your operations and your decisions that you want to make with the company. And then I would say probably the number one thing is, besides paying that franchise initiation fee and whatnot, and then the royalty fees, is territory. So like if you have a business, for example, like mine's in Irvine, California, if I want to expand, if I had a franchise, if I wanted to expand to Palm Desert, California, I most likely couldn't because there might be a franchise there of that same brand. So I know that that's a huge thing if you're looking at, providing care in a larger area. There's some like franchises that cannot accept clients if they say get a client from across a county line, that there's another franchise in that territory. So there's some restriction there. For me, I'm like a super creative person, so I love all the branding, and I like to have full like control of what my brand is, and I always think the sky is the limit as far as like I could have branches everywhere type of thing. So I never want to limit myself, and that's why I didn't do the franchise route for my home care business, Golden Age Companions. So that's something on the franchise. As far as the private duty, private home care side, it's kind of like the opposite. So you get to do your full branding. And by the way, my team at Home Care Agency Blueprint, we actually have a branding team, so we do that on your behalf, and we'll help you choose your name and whatnot. And I'm behind that. So that's something that I love, the branding, and all of our students are like thrilled with what we come up with. So, but yeah, in regards to the branding, I mean, there's operations. You got to have streamlined, how you're going to be operating. In the program that I offer with Home Care Agency Blueprint, we provide everything. We're essentially almost like as if we were a franchise, except we allow you to mold. We give you all the setup of what you need to know on starting your own home care business and all the operations. And then, I'm taking over a decade of my experience and helping you create your own home care business. So, I mean, when I did it from Starbucks, it was one of those things that I knew, okay, I gotta, design the logo, obviously, choose a name before that, do my incorporation, and I could just start small. And then as I got a client and 2 and 3, it was just easier as I had that revenue to be able to have that advertising budget and to be able to be that, standalone brand. And I like to position my company to being more of a boutique, like hands-on home care business where we can even offer that premier level of service that's hands-on and also charge a little bit more and then pay our caregivers more. That's how I positioned my business. So, we help you decide though exactly how you want to position your home care agency. But in regards to back to if you want to do the private route, the con with it is there's a lot more that goes into it, right? So you're getting your branding, setting up, you're getting your operations, your policies and procedures, how to hire caregivers. Even though in my program we do offer all of that, and you have everything there. The only difference from a franchise is that they have their system that they use, and that's just what you've got to go with. So it's like you choose the system. Where with private home care, doing your own home care business, you have a lot more control of how you want to, which hiring platforms to use, and how to exactly hire caregivers and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, you choose for yourself. Like if you want a more, I would say like proven system, and that the thing is too to consider is like people think that with a franchise, like, oh, if I buy it into a franchise, well, number one, it's basically hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you're not, and some of them want to verify that you have $500,000 in your bank account, and not everyone has that. So it's something that just to consider. Like people like the proven system, that they're kind of like sold on that. And then the thing though that's similar in both situations is whether you go with a franchise or a private home care, you still have got to go out and get those clients and do the marketing and build relationships and be that leader for be that expert for your like home care business in your county or city. People have got to know you. They want to know, yes, refer to this person. They have a great home care business. And for me personally, I like to have it's like my brand, it's my business. And no matter how much I scale, I know that I'm not going to be having to pay out all these royalty fees and be restricted. So that's just something that, whether you do a franchise or not, I think that's a misconception people have, is they think, oh, if I go with a franchise, they're just going to give me all these clients. That's not the case. So, I mean, they do have like that brand set up as far as like the awareness. So like the franchise has a name on it. At the same time, it's, you're still the one that has got to generate the referrals. And then, I would say the last thing on home care, doing the private home care businesses, if you're looking at that non-franchise route, there is more legwork ahead of time. However, it's a lot more rewarding in the back end. And like if you decide later on, say once you get to 30, 40, 50, 80 clients, you may want to sell the business, and like, I mean, in 5 years or something, or even, some people have all kinds of goals that they want to do. And What I will say is you will definitely get 3 or 4x more for that business if it's a private company, meaning it's your own brand and business, than you would if it's a franchise. So I know that I've been doing this for over 12 years, so I'm very familiar with kind of like what that landscape looks like. And yeah, so that's it. If you feel like you have gotten value out of this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.